Hey y'all. What's going on? What's going on? Thank you. I appreciate that. To everybody that's sending me the love. Hey, what's up, friends? So, I just kind of wanted to come on here. Always on my live, right? I hadn't been going live for the last couple days, but I find out that usually when I do go live, and I talk to people, that it's very therapeutic. I'm like a huge enigma. I don't do a whole lot of talking. I do a whole lot of shutting down. So my opening up and being transparent is something that I'm trying to practice. So that's why you guys get these series of lives. Okay? Yeah, I want you to bear with me. To anybody that's asking, I'm not drinking and driving. I'm sipping and riding. That is what I'm doing. But I lost two friends literally in a week apart. Well, I guess you could say really in the same week. And I do not know how to feel about it. So if I do shed a couple tears, please don't hold it against me. But losing two people, two very specific people who are just nice, who are just good, right? Good people, right? And to have these people who are just good, right? A guy and a girl, one named Anaya, the other one's name is Paris. Paris is a boy. And we've known each other our entire lives, right? Goes to show you, funny how life works. And I've known them, and both of them individually are good people. I don't know if y'all have ever had the opportunity or have ever been fortunate enough to just meet good people. I have. And my meeting good people allows me to give off the same energy that's being given to me. It inspires me to want to be a good person because these individuals are good people. So I'm inspired to be good to people. And to lose good people, it's like a huge void. Some people can go through death and they can snap back, right? They can snap back and everything will be all good. For me, I'm not built that way. Specifically because I'm afraid of death. I don't like death. So when I go through deaths, I tend to shut down. I don't want to open up. I don't want to talk. I don't want to do anything. And it started to make me losing these two people. One brother I lost today. this morning. And the crazy part about it is that I knew nothing was wrong with him. I knew that my sister, right, my gay sister, she wasn't my real sister and he wasn't my real brother, but blood could only make us closer, right? I knew that she was dealing with dialysis. My brother, on the other hand, had just posted literally like maybe 3 days ago. And in talking to him or texting, I knew that nothing was wrong. And because he was so good, that was just the kind of person that he was. We had a lot in common because most times people don't know when something is wrong with me until there's a overflow, a buildup, right? Because I oftentimes don't let people know what's going on with me. So I didn't know that anything was even troubling him or going on with him. We would always talk about everything, you know, and even at times where we would chit chat and I would say, "You're always so secretive," you know. And he would just always say, "No, I'm not secretive," you know what I'm saying? It's just that, you know, I don't like to burden people. And that was always our thing, because I would say the same thing. I don't want to burden anybody either, right? And so not knowing that anything was really troubling him and having to, you know, pry things out of people. Sometimes people could be so shut off, right? And that's what I loved about him and respected about him, because and appreciated, because, you know, I too can be the same way. But I also know that it can be unhealthy at times. And so it made me start to think about different things. It made me think about the difference between fake love and good people, because good people oftentimes receive fake love, and it's only when they're gone that people have the best stories. They have the utmost love and compassion and respect for them, right? They go through all of this, and it just made me think about, you know, when people say to me, "Skye, you're a good guy. You know, you're such a sweetheart." And it made me think about the different things that I've gone through in my life, both presently and past tense. And it made me think about a lot of different things that I knew wasn't settling to me. I even thought about things like the fact that, you know, doing reality TV and a lot of the so-called friendships that I've had, right, starting out on Chasing Atlanta, it has shifted, it has altered. And it made me begin to question, what was the altering piece for me, or what was the final straw for me as to why I chose to stop fucking with certain people. And this is by any means not, you know, opportunity for me to bash anybody or for me to point my finger or any of that, right? But it just really made me think about, oftentimes when we say we love people, sometimes we can give so much of ourselves that we don't get the same thing back in return, right? I consider myself to be a super nice person. And because I'm super nice, especially because of how I was raised, how I came up, I try my best, even when it comes to the simplest of compliments in my inbox. I go through my inbox, I reply back to everybody. There's not one person that can say that I've left them on red. And the reason for that being is because I come from humble beginnings. You have some people say, "I came from the dirt, I came from the bottom," right? I definitely came from the dirt. I definitely came from the bottom. So there were a lot of things I wasn't subject to having, including love, right? I didn't have a strong point of reference as related to my parents. Not my mother, not my father. So when I found people who gave me genuine love, I wanted to express the amount of gratitude that I had for these individuals, because I wasn't used to it. And I go out of my way to show love to people because I know that in a world full of chaos and bad people, that the good people that's there are the people that you're to appreciate and cherish. And so when the world rips away people that are just good, people who are just nice, people who are just kind-hearted and sweet, when they're gone, there's a huge void. Maybe just for me, maybe that's just the way that I feel, but it's a huge void for me. And so I want desperately to show the same amount of love. So throughout the years, I always tried to be the example, the pillar of an example of what I wanted to receive, right? I knew that I wanted to be surrounded by good people. I knew that I wanted to be loved by good people. So I made sure that I gave love to what I thought was good people like me. And I want to be very specific because I don't want to take anything away from anyone and say that people are bad, right? Everybody is bad, and I definitely, it's not about playing the victim card or any of that. But throughout my life, going through a series of disappointments, heartaches, heartbreaks, from relationships to family, and then finally to friends, it made me look at people differently. And I'll share some things with you guys because I believe. So how will you fill that void? I don't know if the void can ever be fulfilled, because I'm not trying to fulfill those voids from those individuals that are no longer here. You know how they say that certain people are just one of a kind, and those people were literally one of a kind. Those people were just nice. And even when it comes to me, my desire to want to be just nice, which is why I'm not really affected, because I understand that I live in a world where you can't please everybody, right? People will have an opinion or a perception about you. And that's something that I do know. I know that I can't please the masses, right? However, I will say this. There were certain things that I've gone through, y'all, that when I say it hurt my heart, it hurt my heart. And I guess these deaths in particular triggered, my thinking about all of these different things today. Because sometimes I'm a case study. I don't always open up in the way that I need to. And so I open up in bits and pieces. And if you pay attention, and if you're patient with me enough, you'll be let, in with the different obstacles or challenges that maybe I've gone through, right? When I started off on Chasing Atlanta and doing reality TV, as I stated yesterday, I wanted to tell stories. It wasn't about being famous or being popular. I wanted to be able to put my family in a better position. I wanted to be able to share my story because I knew that I wasn't the only one who was going through it, right? So I wanted to open up because I wasn't always able to open up all the time about the different shit that I was going through in my life, because I had to grow up really, really fast and really, really hard. So as a young man who's growing up, who's trying to find his identity, who's becoming a young man, you're having to deal with so many different things like molestation. You're having to deal with abuse. You're having to deal with the feelings and the emotions of being unwanted. You're going through a lot. So you're trying to figure this thing called life out. And while all of these different things was going on, there was nobody that was really there to help me to navigate through this thing, right? So I'm having to figure it out as I go. And I end up doing that. And aside from doing that, I meet people along the way. I latch on to certain people. I'm very protective over my friends, right? So I get the opportunity to do reality TV. I make some amazing friends, right? But as the platform begins to grow, we begin to grow. Some for the better, some not for the better, right? But we begin to grow collectively. And as we begin to grow, I started to see a shift. And the shift that I started to see was the fact that people wanted to be more popular and wanted to align themselves with people that were way more popular, right? Because I feel like, in reality TV, there's a certain thing called an illusion. And sometimes we can buy into the propaganda or the illusion that everybody has it going on and everybody is paid and laid and doing everything great underneath the sun, right? So I started to make friendships, and as we begin to grow, things begin to happen, behind the scenes and publicly. And it caused me to have to question the validity of friendships, because I started to feel mishandled or taken advantage of, because I am such a loyal friend. I am so loving, right? I try my best to be as supportive as I know how to be. And I say supportive as I know how to be because I'm still learning and growing as a young man as well. I have to keep it 100 with y'all. I'm learning and growing as a young man. And I still need points of references, and I still need people to pour into me to tell me when I've done it wrong. And I also need compassion and a round of applause at times when I've done it right. And it doesn't really matter who it comes from. Sometimes you just want to feel that, right? And so I end up building these friendships, and as we begin to grow, the friendships begin to divide. Now, if you guys have followed me on Chasing Atlanta, you guys can kind of read between the lines. I started off with just one person on the show, and then it became 2, and then it became 3. And so my involvement with these particular 3 became like a foursome. And we were together and around each other and loved on each other a lot. But as they begin to grow, and as I begin to support and love more, it felt like, and I'm using very specific words, right? Operative words. It felt like it wasn't reciprocated. And that shit, y'all, hurt my heart to get on platforms and to challenge my friends publicly, right? Didn't do it for fame, didn't do it for popularity. I went to those platforms, right, to fight for what I thought I believed in, and that was genuine friendships, right? Relationships that, or people that you've grown with. Now I get what y'all saying, Skye, over a period of time, people that grow with you, you sometimes grow apart. Well, here's the thing. I can accept that when I'm aware and when I'm knowledgeable of the fact that maybe we are in 2 different places and spaces, right? And no 2 individuals, even if you start off in the same place, will you end up in the same place. I'm wise enough to know that. But when people begin to trade in friendships for fame and popularity and toxic relationships, that shit hurt my heart. It hurt my heart. And I still had to suck it up. Had to be the bigger person. Had to act like it didn't affect me, didn't bother me. None of that. When I got opportunities outside of chasing reality, my close circle of friends, I created opportunities for these people. I had people that lived in my household. And regardless of how much or how little they made, I made sure that I held us down because I felt like people were good, right? And I wanted people to know that, hey, I got you no matter what. I got you, right? That this is a team effort because I don't expect everybody to have what I have or to get it how I get it, to do it how I do it. I don't expect that, right? But what I do expect is that I expect people to return the same amount of love that I distribute. And when people did not return the same amount of love that I gave, that shit hurt my heart. It hurt my heart. Because I didn't understand. I could not fathom the idea of people not giving me what I had put into the pot. I had people, right? Somebody saying my best friend of 10 years violated me and burglarized my house and trashed it. How do you deal with that? Friend, I can't tell you really how to deal with it. When you have somebody, like, don't get me wrong, I know about toxic, friendships and relationships. I've had friends when I wanted to do business with other people because I wanted to grow and elevate. I don't gave them ideas, helped them grow their brands, supported them and their brands. So now that I want to grow and I want to step aside and I want to go off and do my own thing, I had to be given ultimatums. I wasn't allowed to go deal with their enemies and do business with their enemies because, you get what I'm saying? Because you beefing with these people. So I can't want to grow. You understand what I'm saying? So now my loyalty is now being questioned. My loyalty. These people ain't did shit to me. They've not violated me. They've not hurt me. They've not, you get what I'm saying? Like, they've done nothing to me. But because of who I'm affiliated with, I'm expected to be a soldier. And I'm expected to play my position. And I'm expected to keep quiet. And I'm expected to wild out on your behalf when it comes to specific people. But Lord forbid if I step away to be my own individual, to want to do my own thing. Don't want me to advance. Shit hurt my heart. It hurt my heart so bad to find out the people that I have loved on y'all, super loyal, have trashed me when they ain't think I know they trashed me. Shit hurt my heart. Hurt my heart. Time, ideas, money that I put in. I saw people's talent. The talent that they're now putting out now. I saw people's talent. Gave them they start their idea. You don't ever have to credit me for the shit. You get what I'm saying? But it's cool. I know how to get a bag. Shit hurt my heart, bro. Hurt my heart bad. And I get it, y'all always say, like, Skye, it's not good to be bothered or hurting behind people. But when you love, see, here's the thing. Because of where I come from, all I ever knew, because I made a sincere, honest pact with God a long time ago, that if you put me in a position and in the space and in the pathway of good people who are just loving, who are loving, right? They don't want nothing. They don't have no hang-ups. They're not concerned with which celebrity you know or how much money you got in your pocket or how they can, you know what I'm saying, just take advantage of you, use your, none of that. They just love you just for you. That I would reciprocate and that I would be humble. So when I get opportunities, people say, well, why do you keep saying you humble? Because I am. Why do you cry every time you receive a blessing? Because I understand that in a world where days where I felt like no opportunities would come, or that no one would see my real gift, talent, let alone appreciate it. To get people to call you up and say, hey, we just want to be a part of whatever it is you're doing, or we want you to be a part of whatever it is that we're doing. It humbles me. I'm a different kind of breed. You have a lot of people out here, you know what I'm saying, feeling their pussy, feeling their alcohol, feeling their drugs, and they feel like, girl, it's so lit for them. You get what I'm saying? And it might be lit for you, in, you know, for the time being. You get what I'm saying? Humility is what takes you far. And I never had to tear down the next fucking person to get to where the fuck I needed to be, or shit on the next girl to elevate myself. Never. Never. Never ever. You know what hurt my heart? I have to level with y'all. I went on a platform. My return to reality TV, because I knew that people wanted to see me. People were asking for me and wanted to see, you know, more of Skye. And I was appreciative of that. And it didn't fall on deaf ear. And I went to a platform, humble as I knew how to be. I reached out to the OGs respectfully. Reached out to them and said, hey, I'm coming onto this platform. I don't want it to be an issue or an argument. I'm just coming pure, open, you know, arms, open-hearted. You know, I want us to have a great season. I wanted to be in a position to share my growth and my journey with people. I wanted people to see that even with being a caregiver to my grandmother, that it's not always easy. You know, you guys get to see a certain image, right, of me loving on her. But then there's some dark moments. There are dark days, right? When I say dark days, that there are days that I felt not appreciated or felt like, you know, am I making the right decision? Am I making the right choice? When you've gone above and beyond, when you have nobody, like I'm talking about, y'all depleting my bank account, you know, not asking people for help because my pride was in the way. You get what I'm saying? Being offered, you know, through services, my grandmother's insurance, to, you know, hey, you know you can get paid for being a caregiver. Y'all, I turned it down 4 times. And people would say, well, why would you turn down money? Because I didn't do it for money. I didn't. I know, you know, some people would say, hey, the benefit of doing that could actually help. I didn't do it for money. I didn't. So I don't need it. I'll find another source of income. But if taking care of her, I love that lady. I love her. I made the choice. I made a promise from a little boy that if anything ever happened to her, when my grandmother would ask all of her grandkids, if anything ever happened to Nanny, who would take care of me? We would all raise our hands, and I would raise 2 hands. That meant something to me. So as a grown man who has turned 39, it ain't about money. It's not about, a guilt trip. I do what I do out of love. I love that lady. And there are days that I've, been scrutinized and picked apart because I'm not able to do it the way that maybe she was used to doing it to perfection. And I wanted to share that story because oftentimes we don't see the difficulty of when you're trying to love someone, right? And I wanted to share that. And I began to shut down with my closest of friends, people who actually cared enough to reach out to check on my mental health, people who cared enough to check on me as an individual because they knew me. They knew my heart. So people like Barry, and the crazy part is that people questioned me and Barry's friendship, why we were friends, which I didn't understand. He just my friend. You get what I'm saying? He's been my brother. You get what I'm saying? I've had strangers I had a guy. I can't even remember his name. I want to say his name is T or Tommy or Troy or something. True shit. I hate calling people fans, but just a supporter. Y'all, out of the clear blue, inboxed me one day, sent me $100. I don't know if it was the universe. I do not know. You get what I'm saying? I have several credit cards. When you're trying to pay rent, car note, car insurance, cell phone bills, I got to pay for nurses. You get what I'm saying? I got to pay for, food because we don't get food stamps. I wish we could, but we don't. You get what I'm saying? I'm doing it all. Sent me $100 out of the clear blue. When I tell y'all, privately, I cried like a baby. Privately, I cried like a baby. And I have people that sit in my face every day. Every day. See what you're going through. And say nothing. So when people ask, I'm a different kind of humble. Excuse me. I'm a different kind of humble. I look at my peers. Some, not all, but some. I look at some of them, and they get these opportunities, and they shit on people. Like, they shit on people. And they wonder why I don't want to fuck with them. Who I am as a person, bro, like, I can't shit on people. I can't. I didn't make any of the decisions that I made for a round of applause or for people to pat me on the back. I made a conscious decision, right, to do right by people, to just be a good person in the world. I want my reference to be good. Y'all, when I tell y'all, when you lose people that are good, you feel a huge void. Shit. I be using sanitizer wipes. But when you lose people in the world, that are good. It makes you think about a lot. It makes you question. Because it ain't never the motherfuckers that's out here hurting people, taking advantage of people. Not saying that they deserve it, right? Because nobody, I don't ever want to put out the narrative that someone deserves death, right? I wish, everybody could live forever, right? But when you lose good people, people who are just nice, right? It makes you question. It makes you look at some stuff. And I begin to look at the people that surround me. So when people say, why you always crying? Listen, if y'all knew my real story and how humble I am. When people say, why do you praise Monique so much? Because of who she's been in my life, bro. Outside of camp. This is not no Hollywood. She's not Hollywood. I can get on the phone, y'all, and I could cry and I could break down, and you never want to, because she got her own shit going on in her own life. This lady has stayed on the fucking phone with me 2-3 hours at a fucking time, bro. Like, on some real shit. She's done that for me. And I say, yo, if I make it big, these are people that I cannot. That young man who did, this was a person that saw me on a show, y'all. I never met this man a day in my life. You get what I'm saying? But I guarantee you that I can remember his fucking face. Can't remember his screen name, because y'all be having some screen names. Okay? But I guarantee you that I could pick out his face. I wanted to cyber hug that fucking boy. For a person who said, yo, you was just on my mind, on my spirit. I see what you're doing. Let me just sow a seed. That's been me, because I've sown seeds for friends. A lot of my peers, a lot of people that I did not know. There's a video here on Instagram, long before I got on fucking reality TV. Some of these girls, they be trying to put on these little charity events because they want to show the world that they give back. I was doing that shit in real life, bro. I wanted no praises for it. I just wanted for people to follow by example. And to just be good. That's it. That's it. What's up?
Still alive?
Yeah. Nails was cute.
Hey, love.
My brother. So far.
I ain't never did nothing like this before.
What? It's cute. It's really cute. I'm coming in. I'm getting ready to wrap up.
Mm-hmm. Save me a swig of that, because you'll finish that bottle right now.
I will.
You'll drink all this in the car.
I would.
What, you been out here crying?
I have.
Well, stop crying.
I know.
We're gonna get in here and turn the fuck up. In the name.
In the name.
In the name. Don't mess that pretty little face up.
Child. When I tell you. I was so lost. Can you make me a dry tissue?
Mm-hmm.
I am really wiping my fucking face with antibacterial hand wipes.
Yeah, you gotta be stopped.
I do. I'm at my best friend's of our house. I had to call him up, y'all. I was like, listen, if you would just have me come over your house, bitch, I just didn't want to. I was sitting in my house so alone. All right, friend, I'm coming. Oh yeah, listen. I know I'm not alone. Like, I don't mean like alone. You know what I'm saying? But my grandmother is not in a position to console me the way that I need to be consoled. I have a lot that's on me, and I try my best not to complain. So I just feel it differently. When you lose two people in a matter like 4 days apart, that's a lot. That's a lot for anybody. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole hell of a lot. And because of who I am, I can't just sweep it under the rug and act like it don't matter. Especially if you are good. Those people were just nice. Good. I promise y'all, if y'all love me, shit, y'all would have loved them. Y'all would have loved them. I promise you. They was just good. And when you align yourself with good people, you just want to be good to other people. So it made me question today, the difference between good people and the fake love that we sometimes receive. Because everybody ain't good. They may have decent moments or cool moments, but everybody ain't good. When I tell y'all, there's shit that I try my best not to complain about, because my mom used to always say, complaining don't bring comfort. Complaining don't bring comfort. She used to always say that. So, if I complain, even at times when my mom used to beat the shit out of me, right? My mom was very abusive. My real mother. She would never let me cry, never let me complain. So I learned how to not complain. Y'all just don't know. I tell you. What the hell? See, this is the shit that I be talking. Y'all think I be making this shit up. So I'm sitting here crying and Natalia Pearson, I have to say her name, sent me $50 on my Cash App. I was trying to stop crying. Y'all trying to make me cry. You want me to keep crying. It's stuff like that, y'all, that humbles me. You ever heard people say, when I make it big, I won't forget you? There are a lot of people that say that. And they never mean it. But I do.